We are going to get into home run derby talk right now because, that, like I said before the break, there are more than one type of home run derby now. In fact, not just are there more than one type, there will be more than one event. So we're excited about it, and we're going to bring it to you right now. We have all the details. We mentioned this a couple weeks ago, or whatever, a few months ago.
I think it was a
whatever.
couple months ago when it was announced.
Yeah, it was like in May or something, or I guess that was just a couple weeks ago. Point is, we've got Home Run Derby X is a real thing. And now we have a lot more information about what it is, what it means, when it will be, where it will be, etc. So we're going to explain it to you right now. Home Run Derby X is basically Major League Baseball's fan interaction outreach program to expand the audience to international people.
Yeah, I didn't have a better word.
We
international folks.
International folks and gents and ladies and gentle people. Okay, here's how Home Run Derby X is going to be broken down, because it's a modified home run derby. There will be 4 teams. They're going to play in a bracket format, and they're going to play on reduced size fields. So let me show you what the graphic looks like that they published. This is, for those of you watching on YouTube, this is what it's going to look like. But for those of you listening, let me explain it. The field of play will be between 280 feet to 320 feet to center field. Think of a dramatic pie wedge, right? Like a piece of pizza.
Right.
The home plate is going to be at the base of the piece of pizza, at the tip, and then outfield wall will be the crust, okay? There will be between 280 feet to 320 feet. That's a small field, first of all.
That's a little bit bigger than most Little League fields as far as center field goes.
Exactly. Now, what we're seeing is that there will be an angle, almost like a pentagon sort of degrees on this. So that
it looks like a
center
big
field,
diamond.
Yeah, the center field is going to be deeper than the right and left field foul poles, where quote foul poles would be. Between 260 and 300 feet down each line, to be specific. And that's going to flex to accommodate whatever venue or local conditions might afford them. So the angle of the field, they're saying optimally, the field of play will be set with an angle of 45 degrees from home plate. So again, if you're taking that pie wedge out, it's going to be at a 45 degree angle. Okay. The batter's box will
perspective real quick. It for those of you who don't know, it is 90 degrees on a regular baseball field. So what they're actually doing is, I think they're trying to level the playing field just a little bit, by not allowing the batters to pull the ball down the line. That's right. You have to basically hit the ball to left field, right field, and then everything in between.
That's right.
You can't play the lines.
Yep. So the batter's box is going to be marked, and it will be raised on a stage, which is totally new. Then there's pitcher's mound will also be raised to the same height as that of the stage. They're going to be on it's still going to be a mound, but it's going to be up as high as whatever this platform the batter's box will be in. There will also be target positions. There are going to be 2 raised targets placed approximately 160 feet from home plate and about 20 feet from each of the foul lines. You're going to get additional points for hitting those targets, basically. It's like getting a free steak when you hit the bull in Durham, right?
There you go.
2 raised targets will also be placed immediately beyond the outfield fence, approximately 20 feet either side of center field. Again, this is the outfield, the home run wall. Beyond that home run fence will be specific targets as well. There's also going to be a catch zone, and the reason the catch zone is important is because there will be 2 people who are going to be out there specifically to catch baseballs. And they're not just there to shag balls. There will be points associated or taken away if your balls get caught in the outfield and along the fence. The catch zone will cover 60 feet from the outfield fence. The front of the catch zone will be delineated by a marked line on the outfield. Then the outfield fence will be padded outfield fence, minimum height of 4 feet. Okay? So this is what it's going to look like. And it is that we have some more information here. And then, Brad, I'm going to want your opinion on this. So the teams will have 4 players each 4 teams, 4 players. There's going to be 1 former Major League Baseball player, 1 female baseball player or softball star, think Jenny Finch or something like that, right?
Right.
1 player from the men's development system at whatever level, and there will also be 1 wild card player participant who's a content creator of some kind. The whole point of this is to enable content creation, specifically video content, that Major League Baseball will then peddle and use to promote the game to international audiences and to audiences at home. Okay, each of the players are going to have a 25 pitch at bat during the game. 4 players, 4 teams, 25 pitches at bat. There will be 2 fielders present for each at bat. This is how you score points. Home runs, obviously. Catches, there will be points associated. If you hit the targets and if you hit home runs on a hot streak, one after the other, after the other, after the other, you'll get points that way as well. And a time bonus or point bonus will be associated for the hot streaks. Kind of like the time bonus associated in the actual home run derby. You get an extra 30 seconds for hitting distances and stuff like that. Okay, so what Major League Baseball has decided to do is that they're going to pick 4 franchises that they've selected as being what I think is the most marketable, is the decision they've made. They said the oldest franchises in the game's history, which is a bunch of malarkey, but
we'll say it right now because the Reds are not there. The Reds are
not included, and it's the oldest team in baseball. So they've included the Yankees, the Red Sox, the Dodgers, and the Cubs, and they've already announced the former players who's going to be playing for each of these teams. For the Yankees, represented by Nick Swisher. Red Sox, Johnny Gomes. Dodgers, Adrian Gonzalez. And the Cubs is Giovanni Soto. Those are the 4 players that are going to represent the organizations. And it is going to be a world tour. Mm-hmm. There are 3 locations announced. It is this year, ladies and gentlemen. This year. Do not get that twisted. They will be in London in a month. Or in less than a month, I mean. They're going to be in London in a couple weeks on July 9th. They're going to be in Seoul, South Korea, September 17th. My goodness, I wish I could be there for that. And they'll be in Mexico City on October 15th. Whew! That's the situation.
Good job, Brig.
Thanks, man.
That was great.
There's the deal. What do you think of this? Will you talk for a minute?
I think it's cool, honestly. I like that they're getting fans involved. That's a lot of fun because I compare MLB to the NBA a lot. I know that, but I'm going to do it again. So there was a few years ago, and maybe it was like 20 years. I don't know. It was a while ago, the NBA did away with the slam dunk contest because it was old and stale. There was like no new dunks, and people were bored of it. So what they did is they replaced it with what was called the Shooting Stars event, which was an NBA player, an NBA All-Star, with a corresponding WNBA All-Star from their same city. They would team up and they would shoot from different spots on the court. And the team that got the most points based on where they're shooting from won. Okay.
Nice.
Now, since then, they brought back the home run derby. They've done away with that event because it wasn't popular. People didn't like it. It was boring. Anyway,
you mean
they brought back
the contest.
They brought back the slam dunk contest. Sorry. And a lot of people are saying what they need to do with the NBA is there are some tremendous street ballers who can dunk. Like some guys on the street who just like will just throw down, and it is absolutely amazing. And they're like, bring them in, 4 NBA guys, 4 street ballers, and have them do a slam dunk contest. The reason the NBA will not do that though is because they do not want street ballers looking better than their players. That is the one reason they will not do that.
Yeah.
However, Major League Baseball is doing that with Home Run Derby X. They're bringing in former players because they don't want active players being in this event for obvious reasons because of the timing, travel, everything.
Yeah.
But what they're going to do is they're going to bring in former players who can hit home runs and have average Joes go up against them and hit home runs on a smaller field.
Yeah.
And what you're going to do is you're going to see side by side the difference between an average Joe, somebody who can probably play beer league softball very well, right?
Yeah.
Or maybe a Saturday wood bat league very well against a big leaguer, and you're going to see the difference side by side because Major League Baseball knows that even the former players are so much better that you're going to be wildly impressed with it, and you're going to want to see what Major League Baseball is, what it is that makes it so special and different than the other leagues, why the top level is so much better than the street leagues, the college leagues, everything like that. So I think it's really cool. It's a great move on their part. It's great publicity, really a great way to reach out to international audiences by putting it in their front yards, right?
Yep.
Going to London, going to Seoul, going to Mexico City. That's going to be awesome. That's going to be really cool. Seoul's going to be a really big deal.
Huge deal.
Like that stadium is going to be packed. Mexico City will likely be packed. London is going to be packed because there is an appetite for baseball in London. And taking Home Run Derby X there is an outstanding move. I think this whole thing's awesome. It's going to be a lot of fun to watch. It's going to be more baseball content. It's going to spill over a little bit into the off season, not as much as I think it should, because that's something baseball needs to do. Baseball needs to figure out how to spill over into the offseason and become a 12-month sport like the NFL, the NBA is starting to, because that's really what's going to get more eyes on, is you need to have something to consume in the offseason more than just Hot Stove League. Like, we love it because we're nerds, right?
We're junkies, yeah.
Yeah, and yeah, spring training comes pretty quick, but not quick enough.
Not enough, no.
So I feel like that's something they could do in the offseason to really keep eyes on baseball, and it would be awesome.
Yeah, I think actually I can see why they would do the timeline that they've set up, and it probably has something to also do with
travel.
And what's more appropriate in those cultures at those times of year and whatever like that. There's got to be some implication there as well that we're not aware of. But I really wish this was more of a maybe like a lead up to preseason, to spring training stuff, or I don't know.
Well, I mean, the World Baseball Classic is played in what, January, February, beginning of March. I think beginning of March.
February, March. Yeah.
If they were leading up to the World Baseball Classic with this, could you imagine how much better the ratings would be, especially in countries like Korea and Mexico, like having eyes on those places?
Dude, that just made my heart pitter patter. That was awesome.
But anyway, no, it'll be cool. It'll be a lot of fun to watch. It'll be a nice little change, and it'll be interesting to see how it plays out. I think it'll be fun. I like stuff like this. Like, this is the kind of stuff we used to do in baseball practice just to improve our like directional hitting, and it's fun. It's a lot of fun.
Well, and fun is what Major League Baseball needs more of. Yeah, that's why Jazz Chisholm is so popular, right? That's why Tatis is so popular. That's why, I mean, it's because they're fun, and they're bringing fun to the game, and they're bringing fun to the fans.
Mm-hmm. You know, speaking of fun and fans, you know who is one of my son Wilson? You know who is one of his favorite players right now?
Who? Juan
Soto, specifically because that little butt shake he does,
little booty shake thing.
Yeah, he loves it. He thinks it's so funny. I would not be surprised if he goes up to the plate in the fall and does that. He might,
for sure. Well, that's like when Derek Jeter put his hand back, and then everybody told the umpire, like, "I'm not ready yet, homie."
Yeah.
It was like, it's a thing. It is, people pick up on stuff like that.